We live, baby. Let me make sure I tell everybody that I'm currently live right now. Still voiceless. You know what I'm saying? But we still making it do what it do regardless. So let's get it popping. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, I'm on live. So chill out. Let me talk too much. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Uh,
uh,
you're
shit.
live right now?
Yeah.
So,
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Talk to me. What's going on? What's going on? Hit the like button as soon as you come in, of course. You know what I mean? We got some things that we need to talk about. Yeah, I mean, let's do it. And I also went on live yesterday, man. I try to give y'all like a whole different type of setup and scenario. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing in the future. You know what I mean? I did it because we was pretty much sitting around waiting for John Leguizamo to come in and record his show or whatever. So we had a lot of free time. So I figured, why not give Mazuma TV a different approach? So if y'all didn't see the live that I did earlier today, man, go check it out. So I'm doing two lives in one day. You know what I mean? I did one at Pivot, and I'm doing one here right now, like I usually do, man. Um, Within the next couple days, man, you're gonna see me going live in a completely different setting. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Be on the lookout for that as well. You know what I mean? But shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob. We definitely in the building. My boy Jo is in the building. What's going on, man? I hope everything's going well with you, man. What's up? What's going on? I usually do go live around this time, so I'm gonna just let a few more people, you know what I mean, get their bell notifications or whatever the situation is. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, because I've been having a lot of people tell me that they're not receiving their notifications, which is pretty much why, like, back when my notifications were working, like within the first minute, I'll have like 10, 15 people in here. But I don't know, as like my channel has continued to go on, I think people just don't get notified how they usually do. So if you're not getting notified about my lives, just turn off the bell notification and turn it back on, and hopefully it'll reset the whole situation. You'll be able to get my notifications moving forward. You know what I mean? Besides that, I really don't know. I guess you could just come on YouTube and just check out if I'm live or not. If anything, I'll post on my community page if I'm going live. So my apologies for that. I can't control what YouTube do, but we here right now. We about to get active for sure. But hit the like button as soon as you come in.
no.
My apologies. Oh, look at that. I got a hater in the building. Did y'all hear that? It's crazy. But anyway, we got some things that we need to talk about, man. We really gonna talk about Bill Haney and the tirade that he's pretty much been going on lately. You know what I mean? He definitely been acting up, and I know exactly why he's doing it. You know what I mean? But we really gonna talk about this objectively, and we gonna break it down as real as we can. You know what I mean? I had Bill Haney come on the show before. Whenever we spoke on the whole Devin Haney situation, we had Bill Haney come on here and speak his piece, and he's welcome to come speak his piece whenever, regardless of who feels a way about it or not. You know what I mean? But we definitely gonna keep it a book about Bill for sure. You know what I mean? And if y'all haven't heard what Bill Haney has been saying lately, I think it was after the press conference that Ryan Garcia had with Devin Haney. They have been asking Bill Haney questions because Bill Haney is somebody. He's a hot commodity in boxing right now. You know what I mean? He's been opening his mouth. He's been talking that talk. You know what I mean? Really supporting his son and just being a promoter for his son. You know what I mean? Just keeping his name relevant out here and just having the people continuously talk about Devin Haney in hopes that Devin Haney becomes like the biggest star in boxing. I'm sure that's exactly why they're doing it. I don't think they just talking shit just because. I think that it's a calculated move, you know what I mean, to just keep his name relevant. And Bill Haney and Devin Haney hasn't really expressed it much, but you could tell Bill Haney is definitely bothered by Floyd Mayweather and what he's been doing lately. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to JA05. He says salute to you, man. Appreciate you coming on and showing love to the channel, man. Hit the like button, of course. Jo says Bill and Devin have a good dynamic. Yeah, there's some people that actually don't like their dynamic. You know what I mean? Because Devin Haney's the one who's more reserved, and he'll talk here and there, but he's not like the biggest trash talker. Meanwhile, a lot of people don't really like their dynamic because they feel like Bill Haney talks too much. You know what I mean? He talks too much and he doesn't let his son speak for himself and things like that. But I honestly feel like he does let Devin Haney speak for himself. Devin Haney be talking his talk. You know what I'm saying? He definitely be talking his talk. And Bill be right behind him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So a lot of people like that dynamic. A lot of people don't like their dynamic. Me personally, I feel like as long as we get in the fights that we need and they building up the fights well, I could care less who's talking about what. You know what I mean? As long as the buildup is exciting, you know what I mean? They got a little bit of drama going on, a little trash talk back and forth. I'm with it, regardless of who it is. When Floyd Mayweather used to do like the build-ups to his fights, Roger Mayweather used to talk crazy. He used to talk wow. Floyd Sr. used to talk trash to Freddie Roach. Like, it's okay for people from other teams to, talk crazy. Angel Garcia, Danny Garcia's father, he would talk crazy during press conferences. He talked crazy to Zab Judah. He talked crazy to Amir Khan, and they were all great build-ups. You know what I mean? So Ruben Guerrero, Robert Guerrero's father, him and Angel Garcia had a good build-up during the build-up for Robert Guerrero versus Danny Garcia. It's just I like him. You know what I mean? Tiafimo Sr., J.O., you just mentioned another one. He liked to talk his talk. You know what I mean? And it was a good build up for the Cambosis and Tiafimo fight. So as long as people keeping it exciting, you know what I mean? As long as they're not getting too disrespectful or, you know what I mean, things like that. I'm good with trash talk coming from either the fighter or somebody that's a part of the team. Like if y'all watch the whole Josh Taylor and the rematch with Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall's manager talking spicy the whole time. He's not even a trainer or anything like that. But the manager is speaking spicy the entire time, getting the crowd riled up. Man, I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really egging on the crowd. And what you're doing is you're getting the crowd, you're getting the fans involved, and all you're doing is just building up the anticipation for the fight. I like it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was a promoter, which I may be in the future, you know what I'm saying? If I was a promoter, man, I'd be on my Don King shit, waving my flags, talking crazy. Oh my God, I'd be in this instigating like a motherfucker. I did it for free in my school and had people fighting all the time. So why not do it in the sport that I love, bro? I love a good build-up. I like drama going into fights. I like seeing I like seeing fights that turn personal for fighters. I like seeing bad blood. Like that's just me. I don't like seeing these boring ass build-ups where everybody being all cordial and respectful. It's corny, man. And I'll tolerate it in some instances. Like I know if stylistically a fight's gonna be like amazing, like Burchell and Valdez. You know what I mean? They didn't really talk crazy to each other, but we knew stylistically that fight was gonna go ape shit. You know what I mean? And it delivered. You feel me? So um I'm with it. But speaking more on Bill Haney and stuff like that, man, he's been really calling out Floyd Mayweather lately. You know what I mean? I think that he's been feeling some way about Floyd Mayweather in all honesty, because if you know Devin Haney and how Bill Haney and Dev came up, they were in Las Vegas um, coming up under Floyd Mayweather at his boxing gym. You know what I mean? Bill Haney was even getting uh, trained by Floyd Sr. at one point in time. You know what I mean? So they had a close dynamic. They had a cool relationship. Devin Haney told you he looked up to Floyd Mayweather. He said, "Yo, my dad was in the streets." You know what I mean? But I wanted to be like Floyd. And you could tell, you know what I mean? He got pictures with Floyd when he was a kid. You could tell Floyd was a lot younger. Devin Haney was a baby, probably 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? Around that age range. So he's been looking up to Floyd for decades now. You know what I mean? Like Devin is in his mid 20s. You feel me? So to work not I'm not gonna say worship this guy. You feel what I mean? But to look up to this man and look to him as a role model and things like that, for him to all of a sudden be turning against you, it's a situation where I guess you could say idols become your rivals. And that's what it seems like Floyd Mayweather has became since Devin Haney has been on the rise. And I think it really started when um, Floyd Mayweather felt the way about Devin Haney not doing business with him or even signing with him, which I don't really understand why. Because if that's your homie, if that's like your friend, you know what I mean? If that's somebody you got a good relationship with and they want to pursue the avenue that you were pursuing in the later half of your career, why is that an issue? You know what I'm saying? Like Floyd, you left Top Rank to be independent and just do things on your own. You had Mayweather Promotions, you know what I'm saying? So why are you not encouraging Devin Haney to do the same thing? He had DHP Promotions. You know what I mean? He didn't have a promoter. He promoted himself and was backed by his dad his entire career. You should applaud that man because he did something and he took a chance that you did when you ultimately became Money Mayweather. You feel what I mean? Your career didn't actually take off until you left Top Rank because before then you was in Oscar De La Hoya's shadow if we keeping it a buck. So you could tell Floyd felt the way. You could tell Floyd felt the way about Devin Haney not doing business with him at all. And you could tell because Floyd Mayweather has done interviews on several occasions where he has said things like, if Devin Haney was doing business with me, then that would have been him. That could have been him that was fighting Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much saying like, oh, if he was with me, then it wouldn't be Gervonta fighting Ryan Garcia. It'll be Devin Haney. Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know how I worded that, but what I'm trying to say is instead of it being Gervonta that was facing Ryan Garcia, it would have been Devin in that situation. You would have been in that big money fight. Well, I guess that ended up backfiring at the end because now he's ultimately facing Ryan Garcia. And I think that Floyd did everything in his power to try to stop that fight from happening. You feel what I mean? Because I don't think he wanted to see Devin Haney in that type of situation because if there's a certain situation where let's say Devin defeats Ryan Garcia, dominates him, stops him, whatever the situation is, the boxing fans are gonna find a way to take Devin Haney's name and Tank's name and continue to attach them together. And there's gonna be a demand for the fight. And I don't think that Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, or anybody on Gervonta Davis's team really want that to happen. They want to keep belittling Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Keep saying that he's not selling any pay-per-views and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So the them seeing Devin Haney about to possibly defeat Ryan Garcia, you know what I mean? They try to get that out the way. You know what I mean? They didn't want to see Devin Haney in that situation. You know what I mean? And you could tell because I think, in all honesty, I think Floyd Mayweather strategically hung out with Ryan Garcia in order to try to brainwash him or change his mind. And for a point in time, he almost had it in the bag. I think what ultimately foiled that at the end of the day was Al Heyman. I think Al Heyman was like, yo, Rolly, we're not going to explore that fight. Let's take this fight right here. You know what I'm saying? Advised him. And I think that Rolly Romero was like, you know what, man? Fuck y'all. We just going to worry about PBC. You know what I'm saying? I think that Al maybe convinced Rolly to go take that fight instead because it's going to be on Amazon Prime. It's a pay-per-view. And, you know, it's on a great undercard. Whatever the hell he told him to convince him. And it backfired from there, man. So Floyd's ultimate plan to try to get Devin Haney out of that fight with Ryan Garcia, it failed. You feel me? And I think that with Ryan Garcia coming out and saying that it was Floyd that convinced him to try to go the other way, and Floyd showed them a sparring footage between Devin and Tank and stuff like that, you could tell that it really gets on Bill Haney's nerves. You could tell it actually bothers him. And I don't blame him because, like I said, when you had a relationship with this man for decades, you know what I mean? Your son looked up to that man. You know what I mean? Your son wanted to be just like him in terms of being a fighter. Now, all of a sudden, y'all go from having a solid relationship to him going behind your back and attempt to be detrimental to your career. I mean, I would feel backstabbed. I would feel betrayed. You feel what I mean? But Floyd Mayweather has shown you time and time again that he does not care about anything but himself and his pockets. He's shown you that every time. And I got people in my comments that be like, "Oh, why would Floyd hate on anybody? He has this much money and he's done this." Bro, jealousy has nothing to do with how much money you make or how successful you are in life. You know what I mean? You could be a rich, jealous motherfucker. You could be a jealous, successful motherfucker. I've seen it happen. I've seen rich motherfuckers. I've seen rich people show jealousy or show signs of jealousy towards people that were nowhere near their tax bracket. You feel me? So I don't understand why people keep acting like being rich and successful just neutralizes the idea of being jealous. They have nothing to do with each other. Two, both can be true. You can be rich, you can be successful, and at the same time be jealous of somebody else. It has nothing to do with money or how your life is going. You feel what I mean? So I think Floyd Mayweather is a very egotistical dude. And in all honesty, bro, Floyd's just another one of them examples of somebody who wants to see you, may want to see you do well. He'll wish you the best, but he does not want you to do better than him. Floyd to this day is still claiming that he is the face of boxing. Really think about it. I must still be the face of boxing because people always mentioning my name. Like Floyd, don't nobody really talk about you no more, bro. Like you're not really a topic like that. Unless you're talking about other fighters or unless you over here helping other fighters, nobody's really discussing Floyd Mayweather anymore. Like even your exhibitions, we don't really find them entertaining like that because what we're doing now is we're worried about the fighters who are currently active or we're looking at fighters that could possibly be the future of boxing. We're not worried about Floyd no more. He's the past. But Floyd's ego will not allow himself his ego won't allow him to believe that his time is done or he's not that nigga no more. You know what I'm saying? That's why Floyd continues to do these exhibitions. I don't think it's for money. I think financially he's set for life. I think that he continues to do these exhibitions because it gives him the feeling. It's the closest thing to him feeling how he felt when he was under them bright lights. Because being under them bright lights is addicting. Bright lights is addicting, man. That's why Holyfield's still trying to fight, and Mike Tyson about to do another exhibition, and Roy Jones still fighting. James Toney was just boxing Razor Reddick, I believe, in an exhibition. Like these dudes, it's very hard to let it go. Andre Ward told you it's a very addicting feeling, and that was the hardest part about stepping away from the sport. Is just you get addicted. That adrenaline rush that you get from going into the ring, just the feeling that you have after coming off of a victory, bro, it's a very addictive feeling. You feel me? I feel like that should be studied and like for real, like um how the brain reacts to being in a big championship fight or being a part of a fight in general. You know what I'm saying? Being a part of like just studying the brain of a boxer, like how their levels are when they win a fight and things like that. I feel like that should genuinely be studied because I feel like that's an addiction that um a lot of fighters go through. It's very rare if a fighter walks away and then like really walks away. You feel me? And it's not only like uh boxers, it's also like football players. Like Tom Brady done uh messed up his love life to come back to football for one more season, from what I understand. Jordan retired like 2 or 3 times. You feel me? So I think it's just addictive when you on top. It's hard to let go of the fact that you're no longer him. And I think that's what Floyd Mayweather is going through right now. So I think that he's on this mission where he's either trying to degrade fighters or he wants to take them out of situations where they could possibly surpass him in terms of accolades. You feel me? That's what I personally think. I think that um, I think that he's strategically degrading the whole idea of becoming undisputed because for one, that's something he's never done. And two, if somebody gets that on their resume, they could point that out as something that Floyd never did. And the one thing that Floyd Mayweather hates is somebody having an advantage over him or having a feat that he wasn't able to accomplish in the sport. That's why he was like, "Oh, them belts don't mean nothing, man. Them belts don't mean nothing." Like, bro, shut the fuck up, Floyd. You had 3 out of the 4 belts after you beat Pacquiao. You had the WBA, you had the WBO after you beat Pac, and then you had the WBC. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you lacked was the IBF. And I think around that time, Sean Porter was the IBF world champion. And you wasn't trying to go through with that in your late 30s. You wasn't trying to deal with that type of style. So I get it. I understand. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. You was unified in 2 divisions. You cared about belts, Floyd. You just didn't want to go through all that. You feel me? You ain't want to go through all that. And it just so happens that the fighters from this era prioritize becoming undisputed. That's something that they enjoy doing. That's what they take pride in this era. You feel me? So I don't know, bro. Floyd Mayweather be moving real funny style, especially with these young guys, man. He just don't want to accept the fact that they got now and he's the past. That's what I think personally. But let me see what the people think right now. Ralph said Floyd doesn't want any of these new guys to surpass him. He's one of my favorites, but he has a big ego problem. Yo, I agree with you 1,000%. I think that Floyd is one of my favorites ever. I ain't gonna lie to you. Pretty Boy Floyd is one of my favorite fighters all time. Um, I still go look to this day, bro. I still go like whenever I'm bored, I don't got nothing to do. I watch his old 24/7s. You know what I mean? I still watch the Floyd and Shane Mosley 24/7, the Floyd Ricky Hatton 24/7. I'll pull it up on YouTube and I'll watch it because I love those times, bro. Those were great. That was a great time for boxing, man. I love that shit. You know what I mean? How the way Floyd used to carry himself, how the way he used to represent boxing, the way that he constantly showed hard work. You know what I'm saying? Hard work, dedication. You feel me? How that devoted he was to the sport. And even though he would talk it, he would walk it as well. Like I love Floyd Mayweather coming up. You know what I mean? But at this point in time, it's like Floyd, like I said, he'll help you. He'll give you advice and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like he wants you to be either under his wing or I think he would prefer a motherfucker to be in his shadow rather than them being their own person and possibly surpassing them. That's what he tried to do with Tank for the longest, man. Until Tank got sick of it and was like, man, I'm just gonna do my own shit. Like fuck Mayweather Promotions. You know what I mean? Because I remember before, bro, he used to walk around with Tank everywhere. He would never let Tank answer a question at all. You feel me? So I find it funny when people be talking about, oh, Devin Haney, Bill Haney be talking too much. He don't let Devin Haney speak. Meanwhile, they be whole Gervonta fans, and Gervonta's whole career, like the beginning of his career, Floyd Mayweather never let that man talk for himself. They would ask Tank a question, and he'll interfere and just answer the question for him, as if like Tank has some type of like speech problem. Like he could speak perfectly fine. You feel me? So I don't understand why Floyd would never let him talk, but at the same time, I do understand why he didn't let him talk. And it was because he wanted to make it seem like Tank was his little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his little dude. The dude was in his shadow and stuff like that. And for a long time, Tank was riding with that narrative. You feel what I mean? Tank was riding with that narrative, like, yeah, I'm the next Floyd. I'm the next Floyd. And then once he realized, like, yo, bro, like, I just want to be myself, that's when Tank career really started to take off. If y'all really peep, bro. Once Tank was like, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't need Mayweather. When he started standing up against Floyd, you know what I mean, and started really locking in on his craft and not blowing up out of weight. You know what I mean, like blowing up in weight and stuff like that. Kept his weight down and just started moving his own way and just being himself. That's when his career really catapulted, like really jumped to a next level, bro. When he stood in Floyd's shadow, it was like, all right, we knew who he was, we respected him, we liked his style, but and we knew he had it, but like we wasn't seeing his personality enough. Once he spread his own wings and started doing his own thing, and we started to see Tank for who he really was, and that's when we started to rock with him, and that's why he's the star that he is now. You know what I mean? So that's what I personally believe. T said Carmel is more articulate than Tank, so I believe he'll be better in front of the media. I hope Carmel blocks him early. I think you're referring to Floyd Mayweather. And yeah, man, I think that a lot of the dudes that are with Mayweather Promotions, I personally have somebody in my stable right now that was under Mayweather Promotions, and he expressed the same thing that a lot of people expressed that was under TMT, and it's like they don't really care for their fighters, bro. It's like everything used to revolve around Floyd. They wouldn't really keep you busy. They'll just put you on Floyd Mayweather undercards. It's like they would sign fighters just to strictly have them on Floyd's undercards, and that was it. Like I'm seeing fighters that's currently signed with TMT doing exhibitions on Floyd's exhibition undercards. And I'm like, what type of shit is that? What type of shit is that? Like these are active fighters. Why are you putting them in exhibitions when you're doing exhibitions? No, they need fights. What the fuck do they need an exhibition for? I don't understand that, bro. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know, and that's why a lot of people like. I hope Do y'all remember that Richardson Hitchens was with Floyd Mayweather? Do y'all remember that? He walked away. He got himself out of that contract, and then as soon as he got over with Eddie Hearn and them, that's when he really started to build up his name. Another fighter, Savannah Marshall. I believe Savannah Marshall signed a deal with TMT. She got out of there with the quickness because they'll sell you like, oh, you signed with Floyd Mayweather. Oh, you signed with Floyd Mayweather, you gonna be good. He the best fighter in the world, man. He got all this money. If you sign with him, you gonna be good. You gonna be fighting on these big platforms, and you gonna be making this much money. And bro, I think people sign over there because they think the grass is greener on the other side, and it actually ain't. You know what I mean? Which is why a lot of people. It wasn't Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer was always with Top Rank. That definitely wasn't Michaela Mayer. Texas. I'll pull up the video right now. Savannah Marshall, bro. It was Savannah Marshall. See? Floyd Mayweather signs only female to beat Clarissa Shields. Savannah Marshall. And this was back in 2017. You know what I'm saying? I remember that clearly. And then he dropped. She had gotten out of that Mayweather deal. And I don't know exactly who she signed with. I know she was with the Furies and them. But then that's when she was able to really get her career off the ground and get that fight with Clarissa Shields and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. A lot of people go over there with the idea that because it's Floyd Mayweather that they're in a great situation. I've heard like up and coming amateurs be like, yeah, I want to sign with Floyd. I want to sign with Floyd. You see how much money he got? I want to sign with Floyd. And you know what I mean? Everything that glitter ain't gold. You feel me? That's just what it is. And Floyd Mayweather, great fighter. He could if he really put his mind to it, man, if he was able to let his ego go, you know what I mean, and just focus on being a promoter instead of just acting like he's the shit or he's the number one guy, then I think that he could honestly be the best promoter in boxing right now. He has so much pull. He has so much influence. He's influencing guys that's not even signed to him. Ryan Garcia. This man is being hella influential on fighters that he has no contractual obligations with. So imagine what he would be able to do if he were to really care about building up the future of boxing. You know what I mean? Building up talent. You know what I mean? So many people will sign with Floyd, it'd be ridiculous. But because he's so egotistical, you know what I mean? So arrogant and only seems to and hella consumed with himself. I think that his ego is too big to, focus on somebody else that's not him. You feel me? That's what I personally believe. I think he got too much pride to promote somebody else more than he'll promote himself. That's what I believe. Rudy G says he's a narcissist. Well, he definitely has some narcissistic qualities for sure. He doesn't, yeah, bro. But teach that proves my point. Like I was just saying earlier, I'm telling you, he does a good job promoting Girl Collection. He does a phenomenal job promoting his strip club. We know that. But like I said at the beginning of this video, the beginning of this live, Floyd only cares about himself and his pockets. Him promoting Girl Collection helps his pockets because that's his strip club. So, of course, he's going to promote the shit out of something that's going to make him a ton of money. He has a strip club in Las Vegas. He's very influential in Las Vegas. He's helped build Las Vegas to where it's at currently. Because every time he fought, it was like the fucking Super Bowl. And I remember people saying that. I remember, there was this show called Pawn Stars that's on the History Channel. And they were saying like every time Floyd Mayweather would fight in Las Vegas, it would generate the city easily hundreds of millions of dollars. You feel me? So he has a lot of pull in Las Vegas. So if he builds a strip club in Las Vegas, it's a no-brainer. Like he's gonna be very successful. And that's why he continues to promote his strip club more than his fighters. That man had Jalen Love. Jalen Love ain't do nothing. Badu Jack, he was actually a favorite fighter of mine. He was one of my favorite fighters, but he could have been bigger than what he was. Mickey Bay, what happened with Mickey Bay? Mickey Bay was supposed to be somebody. And I'm not saying he wasn't. You know what I mean? I think he got a world title and all. but I think that his career was cut short. You feel me? Yusef Little says, you got any fighters fighting in AC this weekend? I don't. No, I do not. I will not be in AC this weekend. I wonder who's fighting in AC this weekend though. I think whose card is that? I think that's hard hitting promotions. I've never done business with uh hard hitting promotions. T said that day Love got KO'd. He got KO'd by Porky Medina. I remember that. Okay, Tevin Farmer, yeah, that's hard hitting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I won't be there. But salute to Tevin Farmer. I hope he come out on top in his fight, man. Best of luck to him. I like how he's staying active and really trying to get back on that world title chase. Shout out to Tevin Farmer. But anyway, let's get into the main topic of this video. And this Bill Haney pretty much going off on Floyd Mayweather. Jordan Sheriff says Mickey Bay got dropped as soon as he had that upset loss to John Molina. Hey man, that's a bad John, bro. Mickey Bay even had exposed a few things. You know what I mean? Had exposed a few things about TMC and how the way they was moving and stuff like that. So, yeah. I feel like Mickey Bay got robbed against Kambosos. That was a close fight. That was a close fight that a lot of people don't really talk about. But that was a close fight. But when Kambosos was about to fight Teofimo, I was like, who the hell is Kambosos? I had to really do my research, and I watched the Mickey Bay fight, and I was like, ooh, that could have went either way. For sure. Yeah, J Cash, definitely hit that like button, man. Salute. What's good, man? Saluting the nation right now. But let's get into what Bill Haney said about Floyd Mayweather. He's been going at Floyd for a couple months already. He's been going at Floyd for a couple months. And according to this right here, this is from Fight Hub TV. Shout out to Fight Hub. The caption says, Bill Haney says Floyd Mayweather retired due to Devin Haney sparring him. Let's check this out. Video of him and Devin. Yeah. He should have showed the sparring video of him and Devin. Yeah. What? Yeah, why he showed the sparring. And it was 6-0. It wasn't close. It was like Floyd was looking in the mirror when I told him. How long it was before the Conor McGregor fight when he finally decided that he could no longer be in the boxing. There was no real fighters. Devin was the one that snapped that. He knew that the torch had to be passed, and he passed it to Devin. I mean, because it was either forced or it is what it is right now. We will be challenging him, and like we challenge everybody. There's nobody in boxing in or around the division that, you know what I mean? He's not looking to fight. Why do you feel Floyd? So I don't know if y'all heard that, but just to give y'all like a run through of what Bill Haney said, I guess they had asked him a question about what did he think about Floyd Mayweather showing Ryan Garcia the sparring tape between Devin and Gervonta Davis. He was like, why don't he show him the sparring footage from when Devin Haney sparred him, referring to Floyd Mayweather. He said it was 6-0, and he said that was the reason that gave Floyd the reason to completely retire from the sport, because it was after the Kambosos fight, and he said it was like Floyd looking at a mirror. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much saying that Floyd was pretty much looking at another Floyd while he was in the ring and essentially shutting him out in that sparring session. And based off of that, Floyd realized that he couldn't hang in boxing no more with the young dudes. And essentially it was like a passing of the torch. So do I believe this? Absolutely not. I think that Floyd strictly came back for the Conor McGregor situation because it was an easy lick. But prior to that, I knew after the Andre Berto fight that he was no longer going to be participating in boxing in a situation where he's fighting actual like boxers. You know what I mean? He went out against Andre Berto on top. You know what I mean? Took a smooth exit out. You know, he didn't take a hard opponent by any means necessary. He knew that he had Andre Berto's card. He knew Andre Berto wasn't on his level. So that was his goodbye to fighting other professional fighters. However, there was a situation where he could have made a shit ton of money around around the kind of figures that he made against Manny Pacquiao. It was against a mixed martial artist who never boxed before. You know what I mean? And I think that's why Floyd Mayweather came into the Conor McGregor fight with a ski mask on, because it was a legal bank robbery. He knew what he was about to do. He knew that it was no contest, but he knew that there was a shit ton of money to be made, which is why he did that. You feel what I mean? So shout out to Brian P Productions. Shout out to Marky Dan. What's going on? What's going on? Anonymous in the building. Chris back in the building. What's going on? The Boxing Kangaroo getting love all the way from Australia, man. Shout out to the Boxing Kangaroo, man, for sure. You know what I mean? Wait, what? Anonymous says the only Berto fight I've seen is when he got stopped against Cambosis. Hmm? Stopped by Cambosis. Berto stopped by Cambosis? Did you write something wrong, Anonymous? Oh, okay. He said Sean Porter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've watched a few of Andre Berto's fights because, believe it or not, he was a top welterweight at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? No, he meant Sean Porter, y'all. It was a mistake. I mean, he got caught up because we were speaking about Cambosis prior to this. But regardless, man, I don't believe what Bill Haney said at all. I just think that he just popping his shit. You know what I mean? Just putting something controversial out there for us to talk about. Obviously, it worked because we're talking about it right now. And like Jake Cash said, man, we appreciate all newcomers to the channel. That's a fact, man. Thank you for coming through. I think at any point in time, we should be hitting the 1,700 mark, man. I think I'm only like 4 or 5 away from reaching that point. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody that's tuned into the channel for sure, man. It's very much appreciated. Carlos says, I don't believe it at all, but Bill is a father who could tell Floyd just want to take advantage of all these young dudes for his own benefit. I respect him going at Floyd. I respect him going at Floyd too, because one thing a lot of people don't do is go at Floyd. I think a lot of people, even though they may feel a way about Floyd, they keep themselves reserved. I know people that have gotten pretty much ripped off by Floyd Mayweather, and they still won't say nothing bad about him because I think they understand that he's a powerful figure, and they don't want to get blackballed in the sport of boxing, because I think Floyd is that powerful. He's that influential in the sport of boxing where he could possibly tune some people out. You feel what I mean? But Brian P, I just played the video a little bit ago, man. You can rewind, but just to give you like an idea of what he said, Bill Haney. Somebody had asked Bill Haney, what did he think about Floyd showing Ryan Garcia the sparring session between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney? And Bill Haney responded by saying, why don't Floyd show everybody the sparring session he had with Devin Haney? Pretty much insinuating that Devin Haney got off on Floyd Mayweather. He said it was 6-0. You know what I mean? He said that Floyd, you could tell that Floyd was looking at him like he was looking in the mirror, as like, obviously comparing Devin Haney to Floyd. You know what I mean? And that inspired Floyd Mayweather to retire from the sport of boxing afterwards. Now, my opinion on the whole situation is I obviously disagree with that. I think that Floyd was he was already out of boxing prior to the Conor McGregor fight. However, he's seen Conor McGregor as an easy payday, so he got up and took advantage of the opportunity. And it was like the perfect ending in reality, because when he beat Andre Berto, he was 49-0. 49-0. And a lot of people were like, yo, are you going to go for 50? And he was like, nah, I ain't going for 50, man. I'm going to just leave it like that. So he had tied Rocky Marciano's record. Once that opportunity came up where there could be a shit ton of money to be made, close to the Manny Pacquiao fight figures that he got, he was like, yo, I could beat an MMA fighter and a professional bout for all this money, and this will make me 50-0. It just made too much sense. You know what I mean? It was just the icing on the cake at this point. You feel me? So I understood why he did that, but I knew that he was only coming back for Conor McGregor because it was an easy lick. It was easy money. You know what I mean? Anybody would have got up and took on that challenge for 9 figures, not 8, not 7, 9 figures. You know what I mean? To go up against somebody who's never boxed in a professional setting before, I take that all day. I'll take that all day. He came out with that ski mask for a reason, man. I'm telling you. But you could tell that Bill Haney felt away about Floyd Mayweather. You could tell. Low key sounds like he's hurt from the whole situation with Floyd because honestly speaking, man, I'm sure they had a relationship. I'm sure they had a good relationship the whole time that they was coming up in Vegas, and Devin Haney was training around Floyd and stuff like that. Even trained with Floyd Senior for a good portion of the beginning of his career. You feel what I mean? So to see Floyd Mayweather pretty much, fucking with the ops or giving people advice to not fight him, you know what I mean? Just trying to take away Devin's opportunities just because he didn't do business or even sign with him. I would feel betrayed as well. You know what I mean? But Devin Haney has been staying real. He's been reserving his opinion on Floyd. You know what I mean? I haven't heard him saying anything bad, but Bill Haney been stepping up to the plate and been challenging Floyd, which is something that you got to respect because a lot of people not stepping to Floyd in this boxing world, man. Everybody want to keep Floyd on. They want to stay on Floyd's good side. You feel me? Because I think they understand that if they were to fuck up a relationship with Floyd, it could fuck up other relationships because Floyd is an influential figure. He's a powerful person. So uh, I do think that what Bill Haney is saying is a bit exaggerated. I'm not speaking on the sparring session, but in terms of him retiring because of Dev, we already knew he was retired, man. As soon as he was talking about retirement for so long, and you could tell that he was pretty much burnt out from boxing. He didn't want nothing to do with boxing anymore after the Andre Berto fight. You feel me? He stopped doing interviews and all. So that let me know, like, yeah, he definitely wanted to walk away. Like it was his time. But when that McGregor opportunity came up, he was like, shit, I'll put them gloves back on for that money. Floyd love his money. Don't get it fucked up. He love his money. So can't knock him for it. Now, Floyd was actively fighting pros, and then after the Conor McGregor, but then after that sparring session, he like, yo, man, I don't want to do this no more. That Bill might have a point, but Floyd was already them gloves was hung up. Them gloves was hung up before that whole sparring session even came together. You know what I mean? So Brian P. Productions says Bill talked more than Devin, which is sad. When someone really put their hands on him, hint, hint, King Garcia. Oh, don't are you one of like three people on this planet that believe Ryan Garcia is going to defeat Devin Haney? Years later, coming back big time for another legalized bank robbery. That's a fact. That was a legal bank robbery, man. There was a lot of people that was putting up money that McGregor was going to beat Floyd. I don't know why. There was a lot of people that was really banking on that. I think I know why, and I think we could all agree on a certain demographic that was believing that Conor was going to beat Floyd. But regardless, it was really surprising. I'm like, do y'all know who Floyd is? Like, have y'all ever watched boxing? Like, have you ever seen Floyd in the ring? You think Conor has any shot of beating Floyd in the boxing ring? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Conor McGregor would have lost to any top 10 welterweight in boxing. Like Conor, he's a good boxer for a mixed martial artist. He's not a great boxer for a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Rudy G says the great white hype. That's hilarious. Conor got hands. Don't get it fucked up, but his hands will only stand out in an octagon. In a boxing ring, his hands are average. If we keeping it a buck. I know amateurs in my gym that'll work Conor ass over. Pause. You feel me? But Brian P. Productions I think he's insinuating that he believes Brian P says we all know Devin gonna run a play this upcoming fight. He a scorecard fighter. I mean, but if you up on the scorecards, don't that make you a winner? You could be a scorecard fighter, but if you win 8 rounds and Ryan wins four, that 116, 112, do that not make him a winner? Not every this what people gotta understand, man. Like, I hope y'all understand this. not everybody is built the same. We all know this. There's motherfuckers that's taller than others. There's motherfuckers that hit harder than others. There's people that have longer reaches than others. There's people that's smarter than others. Nobody, like everybody has different abilities. You feel what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is, if he's a score, I think you by you saying that he's a scorecard fighter, you're pretty much saying that he can't punch and he takes everybody to a decision. There's plenty of great fighters that lacked power but still found a way to win. You feel me? Like Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, he wasn't the best fighter, but he's won multiple world titles. He can't crack an egg, but he still found a way to win. He beat Zab Judah. Zab Judah had some dynamite in that left hand, but he couldn't do nothing with Paulie. You know what I mean? I think Paulie actually got a knockout in one of his world title fights, and he can't punch to save his life. But regardless, that's not even the point. What I'm trying to say is, if he's a scorecard fighter like you're claiming him to be, which I mean, depending on who you talk to, you might be right. If what does it matter if he's the one that's up on the scorecards? Whether it's a decision or it's a knockout, a win is a win. And as far as I'm concerned, Devin never lost. So maybe him being a scorecard fighter is not a bad idea. You feel me? I was like 10 and I said if Nate Diaz can outstrike Conor, then Floyd got nothing to worry about. That's a fact. But they underestimated Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz was sparring with prime Andre Ward, him and his brother. You feel me? So it ain't nothing for him to throw hands. You know, I mean, he was well prepared for that situation. OG Rugrat says Ryan has a 30% or lower chance to knock out Devin Haney. I mean, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. His last two fights came down to the scorecards. Loma put them hands on him and got robbed. I don't think Loma got robbed. I think it was a fight that was either 7-5 either way, or could have even been a draw. I think that if you sit down and you really watch the fight, I think that you could find a way to say Devin Haney won. It was that close and competitive of a fight, but I don't think it. I wouldn't call it a robbery by any means. Anonymous says y'all overview power a lot. Power punchers get exposed at the highest level. Most of the time, yeah. If you have the intelligence to back that power, then that's a different situation. But guys who strictly rely on power, they always end up getting exposed. You know what I mean? Look at the hardest punchers of all time. They've all gotten exposed pretty much. Usually the guys who retire on top, who retire undefeated, you know what I mean, aren't usually the biggest punchers. Andre Ward, was he the biggest puncher? No. Floyd, biggest puncher? No. But they won every fight that they was in. Heavy ass punchers like George Foreman, he got exposed by Ali. Big ass puncher like Deontay Wilder got exposed by Tyson Fury. Julian Jackson got exposed multiple times. He's been knocked out. He's one of the hardest punchers pound for pound we've ever seen, and he got exposed against Gerald McClellan and guys like that. Getting knocked out in the majority of his losses, if not all of his losses. I think he was stopped. If we were to go on, let's see who else. Tito Trinidad, one of my favorite fighters of all time. He was more than just a puncher. He was technically sound and things like that, but he was known for his devastating power. And Bernard Hopkins was able to neutralize that and expose him. These are things that we do know. You know what I mean? So that's a great point, Anonymous, for sure. Southwest Dice says Loma lost. I have to chill. See, there's people that believe that Loma lost the fight too. So that's how you know it was a close competitive fight. If we got some people saying Devin won and we got some people that say Loma won, that lets you know it's not a robbery, because that lets you know it could have went either way. Ralph says you could tell Floyd wasn't taking the fight serious. Floyd was just coming forward for about 8 rounds, and the 9th or 10th round he started pressing him to stop him easily. Yeah, Floyd told you what he was going to do off of the rip, though. He had did an interview with Stephen A. Smith, and he was like, yo, I'm coming forward the whole time. Like, he told you the game plan, and nobody believed it, because traditionally we see Floyd on the back foot. But, yeah, Like he told you what he was gonna do, and he did it. He wore out Conor McGregor because he knew Conor McGregor couldn't last in them championship rounds, and he drowned him as he should. Beautiful strategy. Conor McGregor always had conditioning issues. Ward wasn't the hardest puncher, but he was the first person to stop Kovalev. That's a fact. That's a great point. We're gonna see Ryan fighting at 140 now, so no dehydration this time. He's gonna be stronger than ever. Well, I hope you say that after Devin Haney defeats him. I hope that you're saying the same thing and I'm making an excuse for that, man, because if you do, that'll be unfortunate. But you know what I mean? If you rocking with Ryan Garcia, man, you entitled to doing so, man. I ain't gonna shit on you for that. Mike McCallum stopped Jackson when he was 29-0 with 29 knockouts. See? That just proves my point. Anonymous mentioning Brian P said Devin is also at his strongest at 140. Don't act like you ain't seen what Regis ass. And not only whoop Regis ass, but hurt him several times throughout the fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if Devin hits Ryan with a clean shot and Ryan don't respond well to it. I would not be surprised. Or if Devin possibly drops Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia stands up tall a lot. He's off balance a lot. Um, And if Devin was to time him with a good right hand or something like that, who's to say that he wouldn't touch the canvas? Not saying that he'll be hurt, but off balance knockdowns, whether you hurt and get knocked down or you off balance and get knocked down, it's still a 10-8 round regardless. Ali did expose Sonny Liston, Chris, for sure. That's a good point. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I'm saying, man. I think a lot of people just when they see somebody who doesn't have punching power, they automatically assume that they're boring or, you know what I mean, they're runners and stuff like that. Yo, some people just don't have that sensational power, bro. Some people just don't have that one shot knockout power. You know what I mean? There's sometimes they got to find other ways to win. I mean, this ain't a world where everybody's equal and all have the same ability. Some people got to find ways to get a job done. They got to find different ways to get the job done. Fighter A can win a fight by knockout, but fighter B may not be able to knock that opponent out. So they got to find a different way. They got to make the adjustment necessary to still get the win, just under with a different set of tools. OG Rugrat says, "Don't forget, Ryan got dropped by Luke Campbell, so why not Devin?" That's another great point because I think Devin Haney is a far better fighter than Luke Campbell. Ken Norton knocked out Shavers. Ernie Shaver is one of the hardest punches ever. So that's a fact. When you mention hardest punches of all time, who said Dev don't got no feet? Dev got no footwork with 140. He made Regis look like a baby with that size difference. Well, I'm gonna agree with you on that second part, but in terms of Devin having no footwork at 140, I think you're wrong, my brother. I don't think footwork goes away with a one weight class move up. You know what I mean? Now, if you're gonna make the case that his feet have gotten slower, then that's something we're gonna have to just look at. But in terms of him saying he has no footwork, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. And I actually thought that his footwork was on display against Regis Prograis. And I think that was why Regis Prograis could have set his feet to punch. You know what I mean? I think that his feet was a big reason why that fight was so wide. You know what I mean? I think that's why I think his footwork was a big reason why he won in such a dominant fashion. Because Devin Haney's footwork exposed Regis Prograis' lack of footwork. That's what I believe. Yeah, everybody's making some great points on here, but we got 32 people in the building, man. Hit the like button as soon as you come in if you appreciating the boxing talk and the overall content. You know what I mean? This is my second live of the day, man. So if you haven't seen the first live, go check it out, man. I had a group of my fighters sitting at the table with me at Pivot Boxing Academy, a different setting. You know what I mean? So if you want to go check that out, go check it out. We spoke about a whole bunch of different things that's currently going on in boxing. Dev got ring generalship. Yes, he does. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Like I know a lot of people been having a lot to say about me because I've been siding with Devin Haney lately, but it's hard not to. You know what I mean? Like this dude is taking he's pretty much taking the chances that you would want your favorite fighter to take. You know what I mean? He's going over to Australia. He's beating he's going against the odds. You know what I mean? And beating these dudes. Then he's going up and challenging himself against Lomachenko, which Tank never built up the courage to do. You know what I mean? Him or his team never built up the courage to challenge Lomachenko. I remember Floyd tried to discipline Gervonta Davis with trying to get him a fight with Lomachenko. That's how shook they were of that man. Devin Haney took on that challenge and beat the man. Then he goes up to 140 and fights Regis, one of the biggest punchers, one of the roughest, rugged fighters at 140 pounds, and exposed him. Like, how could you not rock with the chances that this guy is taking? Like, he's doing some legendary shit. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to call me a Devin Haney fanboy or whatever the hell you want to call me, man, guess what? The fighter that you backing is not doing what Devin Haney's doing. Point blank, period. You feel me? So it is what it is. If that's what y'all want to call me, cool. And for people saying that I'm getting compensated by Bill Haney, bro, come on, man. I don't even know Bill personally. I haven't spoke to him at all. He's came on my channel one time. He chopped it up with us, and then he dipped. Ever since then, I've never seen that man or spoke to that man again. You know what I mean? So for y'all to be talking about Bill Haney cutting me a check to talk good about Devin Haney or I'm on Devin Haney payroll, like cut it off, man. My channel not even that fucking big to be on that type of time. You feel me? So if Devin Haney go on a tear where he start ducking fighters, bro, I'm gonna talk crazy about him too. I'm gonna hold him accountable too. So it is what it is. I ain't a yes man for nobody. You know what I mean? If I feel a way about something, I'm gonna make it clear that I feel a way about something. You know what I mean? If Haney doesn't have any pop, why didn't Regis start coming forward recklessly? Because he didn't want to get hit with the shot he didn't see coming. He knew Dev could do damage. Well, I thought Dev was doing damage. I thought that he hurt Regis several times. The problem was Devin was being so cautious and calculated that he didn't step on the gas, which is something that he could definitely work on. You know what I mean? You got to take chances. I mean, I was speaking with Boot's father the other day, Bozy Ennis. I was talking with Jerron and his dad, Bozy, and he was like, yo, bro, for you to do great shit, man, in boxing, you got to take chances. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Devin Haney should have took that chance against Regis Prograis, man. I know Regis Prograis is dangerous at all times because he got some heavy hands. But at the same time, bro, it was such a dominant performance, man, that Devin could have definitely turned up and possibly made something happen. You know what I mean? In terms of getting a stoppage or something like that. But that's the only critique I had from Devin Haney in that performance, that he could have really brought the dog out and try to close it in emphatic fashion, but he chose not to. You know what I mean? He didn't want to take that chance to possibly get clipped or hurt or something like that, or get caught in an exchange. And you know what I mean? So yeah, man. OG says you the voice of boxing. Well, I'm one of them. I'm not gonna say I'm the, but I'm definitely one of them, man. I'm on here just speaking my mind and trying to be as informational as possible. Try to provide the best boxing takes possible, and just try to remain as objective as possible. You feel me? Jordan Sheriff, he says, "Yo, Mark, what you think about strength and conditioning for boxing? How do you prefer your fighters? Do you have a different process for the pros versus amateurs?" To answer that last question, no, I don't. Strength and conditioning at my gym includes uh, we have our pros and our amateurs on the same strength and conditioning program. Now to answer your second question, what do you think about strength and conditioning for boxing? I think that it can be beneficial. You know what I mean? But I'm not somebody who's really big on using weights. And if we do use weights, it's not heavy amounts of weight. Maybe it's light weights with a lot of reps. You know what I mean? We do a lot of explosive training. We use our we definitely strengthen the legs a lot. There's a lot of calisthenics, man. A lot of calisthenics and um, working on certain explosive drills that helps with weight transfer. You know what I mean? Rotating the hips and things like that. You know what I mean? And just overall, just pushing your conditioning in terms of like sprints and you know going up steps and shit like that. We definitely get into all of that. I think that strength and conditioning definitely can help boxers, but it depends on what you got them doing. Now, if you got them bench pressing and you know doing everything that's like weight associated, you might be hurting that fighter. But if you do certain workouts that's actually gonna be that's gonna improve your performance in the ring in terms of turning over your punches and you know being explosive in there and you know um having more gas in the tank so you're able to step on the gas a little bit more in those later rounds. Um, I think that it could be very beneficial. You just got to be really selective, and you got to be informed on what you're doing. Don't just be having these dudes do random workouts. You know what I mean? So I think it can be beneficial to fighters. You just got to know what you're doing. You feel me? Chris, I am watching Raymond Ford fight. Yes, I am. He said, not gonna lie, I see Haney dropping Ryan within the first 4 rounds. That's possible. That's possible. Ryan stands up straight on a lot of his shots, man. When you standing up straight, or even when you stand in square, you it's very possible you could get knocked off balance. Yeah, weights are like I really feel like it's pointless, man. When you building up all that muscle, then you know when obviously when you got that type of muscle, that lactic acid that sits on your muscles after you do a hard workout could definitely wear you out. It's harder for the oxygen to get through those muscles, especially when they all big and pumped up. The bigger it is, the harder it is for the oxygen to really flow through your system. Um, Muscles don't really benefit you in boxing. That's why guys like Floyd Mayweather, he told Andre Berto, like, yo, muscles don't win fights. You feel me? I think that the big muscles and the whole bodybuilding type figure is more detrimental than helpful for you in the sport of boxing. That's what I think personally. You know what I mean? That's why like if boxing was ever a situation where you know what I mean, muscles actually mattered, then a lot of bodybuilders would be world champion right now. That's what I think. Do I recall ever seeing Frank getting wobbled or dropped? I don't know. I don't think so. You know something I don't know, Rudy? From what I've seen, Frank a pretty sturdy guy. You know what I mean? He's pretty responsible with his high guard and stuff like that. He don't really take big shots like that. I did see some things that he does get hit with that I'm gonna speak about later on when the fight gets closer, if it's even getting made, honestly. But yeah, Anonymous says I think that's why I think Rolly might get stopped against Cruz. He uses that square stance a lot when he's boxing, and he's a sucker for left hooks, and we know Isaac throw a big one. You know what I mean? So you gotta be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, Rolly Garcia. I mean, I said Rolly Garcia. That's how you know I'm tired of shit. That's how I hope Rolly Romero is working on his defense to avoid that left hook because he gets hit with that left hook from Isaac Cruz. It might be a short night. Duno hit Frank with a good shot when they fought. I mean, it's boxing. These things definitely happen. But all right, y'all. That's my live for the day, man. I did my hour for the night, man. I appreciate everybody that was tuned in. You know what I mean? I'm still sick. You know what I mean? Every day I'm getting better, but I'm still, you know what I mean? I'm messed up, and I got a big day ahead of me tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, um, y'all keep me in y'all prayers. You know what I mean? Hope for the best for me, because, like I said, tomorrow is a big day for me, and hopefully everything turns out well. You know what I mean? Keep me in y'all prayers, man. Put a prayer up for me, for your boy Mazuma TV, man, and hopefully everything comes out well. Shout out to everybody that was keeping the conversation alive in the chat. Shout out to the boy OG Rugrat, Anonymous, Rudy G's, Brian P, J Cash, Chris. Shout out to everybody that was in the building tonight, man. I appreciate you very much. And especially my boy Jordan Sheriff. Thank you for tuning in. You know what I mean? Every time you come on, I'm appreciative of you. So thank you for tuning in. We got 25 people in the building. If you could hit the like button on the way out, it'll very much be appreciated. It definitely helps the channel grow. But until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm out of here, man. Peace.